punch on him, can't get a hold of the legs.
His back off like.
Are you ready to meet one of the most exciting fighters to enter the octagon in recent years?
Shots have now officially set up the head.
Hyvän aseman pitäminen.
Look no further than Ilia Topuria, the Spanish-born UFC fighter with a fierce Georgian fighting spirit. In a matter of only a few fights, Topuria has already established himself as a top prospect in the featherweight division. With an impressive record of victories and a reputation as a headhunter. But what drives this bullfighter of a fighter to keep charging eagerly at his opponents? In this video, we'll delve into Topuria's inspiring story and highlight the moments that have made him a fan favorite in the UFC. Get ready to discover the unstoppable force that is Ilia Topuria. You won't want to miss it. Born in Germany to Georgian parents, Topuria moved to his ancestral homeland at the young age of 7 and began training in Greco-Roman wrestling. But it was after his family relocated to Spain that his true passion for MMA began to flourish. Despite the nation's love for football, Topuria made the bold decision to pursue his dreams of becoming a fighter. In a move that surprised many, he even left school in the 9th grade to devote himself entirely to combat sports. During the weekdays, he was a regular at the gym, training hard and perfecting his craft. And on weekends, he worked as a cashier in a clothing store to support his dreams. Even as an amateur, Topuria dominated his opponents in tournaments. And as soon as he turned 18, he was ready to embark on his journey to conquer the world of MMA career. Ilia Topuria's debut professional fight took place in a local organization. Topuria's opponent in that fight was Francisco Pril, a Venezuelan fighter with a negative record of 2-5. As soon as the bell rang, Pril rushed forward recklessly, but Topuria was ready for him and executed a quick takedown. From there, Topuria took control of the fight, working from the top position and transitioning to the crucifix. And with his opponent trapped and helpless, Topuria deftly locked in a triangle choke, forcing Pril to submit. After a short but intense training period, Topuria entered the cage with confidence and wasted no time in demonstrating his skills. His first move was a quick takedown, which he followed up by seamlessly transitioning into the mount position. With his opponent in a vulnerable position, Topuria swiftly locked in a neck submission, determined to make a statement in his first hometown fight. In his third professional fight, Topuria once again employed his signature approach, driving his opponent towards the ropes before quickly taking the fight to the ground. Once in a dominant position, Topuria unleashed his impressive ground and pound attack, stunning his opponent with a powerful slam. And with Goncalves helpless on the ground, Topuria capitalized on the opportunity, securing a submission win with a tight chokehold. After 3 back-to-back wins, Ilia Topuria's prowess in the cage was undeniable. It was time for the Spanish-Georgian fighter to step up his game and take on a new challenge, fighting for a local championship belt. His opponent was none other than a promising fellow countryman, Georgian, who seemed determined to give Ilia a run for his money. The fight began with a flurry of moves from Georgian, but Topuria remained unfazed and held his ground. Sensing the shift in momentum, Georgian decided to switch things up and rely on his striking, only to be taken down by Ilia. After briefly grappling on the ground, Topuria swiftly locked in a guillotine choke, forcing his opponent to tap out and securing the championship belt. But he wasn't content with just being a local champion. He traveled to Finland to take on a formidable opponent in Megan Hanalainen, looking to showcase his newly refined striking technique. And showcase it he did, overwhelming his opponent with a barrage of jabs and combinations that left him dazed and confused. Once he had his opponent in a vulnerable position, Topuria wasted no time in finishing the fight.
Tavallaan sen hyvän aseman on pitänyt. Siitä tuli niskan käsi, minkä veti nyt tonne Mikan niskan puolelle. Oi.
Ei ole mikään heittopus.
Forcing his opponent to tap out.
Alas viennin ja Mika jäi nyt itse tonne alle. Topuria jatkaa aika hyvin.
The crowd erupted in applause.
En tiedä, oliko se vaan minä, mutta alkaako tää kestää?
Näköjään. Oi. No niin, ja siitä lähtee.
Recognizing the skill and determination of this rising star.
Sieltä se
löytyi.
Ilia Topuria had his eyes on the prize after achieving an impressive 5-0 record. The next step in his journey was to compete for the vacant belt in the prestigious British promotion Cage Warriors. Topuria was set to face his toughest opponent yet, Brian Booland, the strongest flyweight in the league. But Booland failed to make weight, causing the fight to lose its title status.
In the grave.
Immediately in.
Undeterred, Topuria stepped into the cage and demonstrated his versatility,
And he's to the...
implementing a new technique. When his first submission attempt failed, he didn't give up. Instead, he smoothly transitioned to the anaconda choke and put Booland to sleep with motherly care.
He's out! He's out!
It's over!
Wow!
Ilia Topuria!
After proving his dominance in the European cage, he set his sights on the Middle East and signed a contract with the prestigious Brave organization. But before his debut fight, he had to travel to Colombia to face a promising local fighter. As soon as the bell rang, Topuria showed his opponent Luis Gomez, who's boss. He took control of the fight,
But Gomez throwing back, just as we...
showcasing his versatile skills, and didn't take long to finish the fight with a submission hold.
Just landing those crushing elbows to flatten out Gomez.
Phil, our referee.
The Colombian debutant didn't stand a chance as Topuria expertly executed a triangle choke
The end.
Mounted triangle
And
armbar
the
combination.
armbar.
And it's
It's
over.
over.
and an armbar at the same time, forcing his opponent to tap out in just 75 seconds. But Topuria's road to the top wasn't easy, and his next opponent, Stephen Goncalves, made sure to give him a run for his money. The South African had a flawless record of early finishes, and it looked like he might add Topuria to his list when he took the Georgian prospect to the ground early in the fight. But Topuria refused to back down, quickly regaining his footing and locking in a tight Darce choke.
Needs to be wary of perhaps some sort of a necktie here. He's gone for the ninja choke.
Although he wasn't able to secure the submission, he used that moment to assess the situation and prepare for his next move. When the fighters returned to their feet, Topuria unleashed a single devastating overhand right that sent Goncalves crashing to the mat.
Get his back off that cage. Oh, he gets caught!
It was a spectacular display of Topuria's versatility as a fighter, showing that he was not only a submission specialist but also a knockout artist. In fact, Topuria had finished all of his opponents in his first 5 years of fighting, earning a reputation as one of the most promising prospects in the MMA world. With his skills honed in smaller organizations, Topuria was ready to take on the best of the best in the UFC. Throughout 2020, Topuria was knocking on the door of the UFC waiting for his chance to shine on the biggest stage of all. That chance came unexpectedly, just 7 days before the next tournament, when he was given the opportunity to replace an injured fighter and welcome UFC debutant Youssef Zalal to the octagon. Zalal was no pushover, having won his last 3 fights in the promotion. But Topuria was more than ready for the challenge, pressing forward with explosive combinations.
Against the fence.
Временами он переходил на борьбу, продуктивно.
Offered a level change.
Zalal tried to catch the agile Moroccan with a submission, but Topuria was too quick and too strong, escaping every attempt with ease.
It's going to be tight.
As the fight wore on, Zalal began to fade, and Topuria's superior willpower and determination shone through.
In favor of Zalal.
There's that flying switch knee, but it was caught by Topuria.
In the end, it was Topuria who emerged victorious. His next opponent was Damon Jackson, who was no pushover, with a record of 18-3 and plenty of experience in the octagon. But Topuria was in a league of his own, quickly finding his range and unleashing a relentless assault that left Jackson struggling to keep up.
Topuria was able to strike Topuria early, right to the body.
Topuria upstairs with those big hooks, and ultimately
As Topuria closed in for the kill, Jackson desperately tried to fend him off, but it was no use. Topuria's uppercut connected with devastating force, sending Jackson crashing into the cage.
Cut on the bridge of Damon Jackson's nose now. I think the big difference.
Well, he really likes to try to do these interviews.
And that was just the beginning. Topuria followed up with a barrage of strikes.
Those body shots have now officially now set up the headshot and it's all over. When you look at this body shot and the way he set it up, I mean,
Each one landing with pinpoint accuracy and driving his opponent further and further into the canvas. And then, just like that, it was all over.
on the money after you go to the body.
Shots.
Stop! Ilia!
Before Ilia Topuria burst onto the scene, MMA was barely more popular than curling in his native Spain. But that all changed with the arrival of this textured fighter, whose devastating punch and compelling will to win quickly made him a household name in the world of combat sports. As he continued to dominate in the octagon, Topuria's star continued to rise, and he soon found himself being courted by some of the biggest names in the industry. His explosive fighting style and unstoppable drive made him a natural fit for the UFC, and it wasn't long before he was making his debut on the world's premier MMA stage. But Topuria was hungry for more. He knew that he had what it took to compete at the highest level, and he was determined to prove it to the world. So when the opportunity came to challenge Ryan Hall, a master of mixed martial arts and undefeated in the UFC, Topuria didn't hesitate. Topuria proved that he is not to be underestimated on the ground, skillfully avoiding his opponent's heel hooks.
roll type situation.
And when the fight went back to striking, he made quick work of his opponent, securing his 10th career finish and becoming the first to defeat his opponent in 15 years.
There it is. Big shot. Oh, big
In March 2022, he went to England to face a formidable opponent, Jai Herbert, who was a former Cage Warriors lightweight champion. Topuria found himself on the verge of a knockout within the first minute of the fight.
And he has the speed advantage.
How tough is Topuria? And he is hunting for that takedown.
However, he didn't let that stop him from pursuing victory. Meanwhile, Herbert persisted and tried to finish off the Moroccan matador.
Set at the big right hand.
Huge right hand.
Will Topuria meet the bell? Massive shots from Jai Herbert.
But Topuria waited for the right moment, and when he saw an opening, he made a stunning comeback, even though he missed out on the best performance bonus of the evening.
Oh, my word! Unbelievable knockout!
Of respect. One more time. Left to the body. Right hand over the top. Right on the chin.
Topuria's unwavering spirit was on full display. With one strike and one body, he didn't need to finish his opponent to show that he was the better fighter. Ilia Topuria is a force to be reckoned with in the world of MMA, with explosive power, lightning-fast movements, and a controlled aggression that sets him apart. This 25-year-old fighter is quickly making a name for himself. Boasting an impressive 11 finishes in 12 fights and rising to the 14th spot in the rankings, Topuria is well on his way to the top. Only time will tell just how far he can go in the octagon. If you're a fan of MMA, you won't want to miss a minute of this rising star's journey. And if you enjoyed this video, make sure to hit that like and subscribe button, because the era of MMA is just getting started and we have more MMA content coming for you. Until next time.
The timing is so odd. Like, look at this. Like, he just falls down. Oh, there it is. Nice hammer. Oh, big hammer fist by Topuria. There it is. Big shot. Oh, big shot. He might be.